Ever feel like you're just copying other creators because you're not sure what your own personal voice is? Well, we are now in the storytelling era of social media, and having your own personal voice matters more than ever. But how do you find it? By the end of this video, you will have a clear action plan on how to develop your personal voice as a creator. Hi, I'm Daryn. I'm a Writers Guild Award-winning creator and producer who got her start right here on YouTube. And then I built a six-figure content business. And now I want to help creators and coaches and entrepreneurs like you become strategic storytellers so you can build a binge-worthy brand, because you have the knowledge, you have the experience, you have the passion. You just need the storytelling and content strategy tools to pull it all together. So why is it important to build a binge-worthy brand? Because we have now moved from the information era of social media to the storytelling era of social media. Personality and having a unique perspective matter more now than ever, which is why I say that as creators, we need to bring some main character energy. This is for you if you are someone who has a lot of experience and knowledge, but the minute you press record on your camera, you forget how to be a human being, right? I get that. This is for you if you have a lot of experience or knowledge, but you're usually a behind the scenes person. You're someone who can absolutely help other people, but the minute that you have to talk about yourself and how you feel, you want to sink through the floor. Maybe I'm just talking about myself here, but that's definitely how I feel. I don't love talking about myself, and that's really important on YouTube. But this is for you if you are that person too. This is for you if you're someone who is looking at other creators and thinking, I don't think I'm that. I like that, that's cool, but I don't think that's me, right? And all the gurus seem to be teaching a model in which you copy other creators or model other creators, let's put it that way. And you know, there is some truth to that. There's nothing inherently wrong with learning from other creators. And then eventually at some point you find your own style, right? But I think that creators can get very, very, very stuck when they are just emulating other creators, especially if that creator has success in some way that you're lacking at this point. But I have a better way. The reason that I like starting from archetypes as opposed to emulating other creators is that then it's not about copying behaviors or copying fonts or copying thumbnail styles. That's just optimization to me. And honestly, an AI can do that. You can create an AI influencer that can simulate another creator. So why would we need you? We need you because you're you and you're interesting and you're unique. So let's focus less on trying to emulate somebody else that figured out their personal voice and find your personal voice. So here's where we're gonna start. I have come up with 5 YouTube creator archetypes. I'm gonna break down each one of those archetypes, and I want you to map which one of them most aligns with you. Now remember, you are not an archetype. You are a complicated, multifaceted human being. This is an archetype, so this is a starting point. This is level 1 of building your personal voice. The first archetype is the visionary. The visionary is all about big ideas and future proofing. People are drawn to your thought leadership because it helps them reframe the way that they think about everything. You are bold, you are inspiring, you are future focused. Then we have the underdog. You have lived it, you have felt it. You are not just sharing knowledge, you're sharing hard-earned wisdom. You're sharing the journey. You are raw, you are real, you are resilient. The problem solver, this one is me. The visionary has the real big ideas, the big bold ideas, but the problem solver is the one who has the plan. The problem solver takes those big crazy ideas and tells you how to execute them. You've got a blueprint, you've got a plan, you've got make it happen energy. The rebel, you do not tiptoe, you drop the mic. You are all about dropping the mic. You are all about disruption. You are here to shake things up. You are here to challenge the status quo. The sage, you are not just creating content, you are creating meaning. You bring insight, you bring reflection, you bring calm to people's lives. So which one of those archetypes spoke the most to you? I ask that because deciding which archetype you connect to the most is the first step in figuring out what style is appropriate for you. If you are the visionary, you might be starting your videos with, imagine if, this is where we're headed. If I'm the underdog, then maybe I'm starting with, some sort of twist on, if I can do this, so can you. But if I'm the visionary, then that's maybe not appropriate. That's not who I am. Whereas if you are the problem solver like me, you're coming into the videos with, here's how this works. This is the plan. I got to figure it out for you. I watched 1,000 videos and I cracked the code. That is the problem solver. You're coming to them for solutions, right? Whereas the visionary, you're coming to them because you want your mind blown a little bit. So if you're looking at visionary content and you are the problem solver, you're going to feel pretty bad about yourself, or you're going to make content that's not you. And you're going to be awkward because you're trying to fit an archetype that you're not. So it's really, really important to understand which archetype you align with. The same thing goes if you are the rebel and you're watching an underdog and you're like, why is this person's content taking off and I'm going nowhere fast? And it's like, well, because you are not the underdog. You're trying to model a creator that you are not like. So if I don't understand that about myself and then I'm trying to emulate creators that are in my niche that fit those archetypes, I'm not going to be successful because I'm going to try to be something that I am not. If I'm the underdog, then I probably got a very kind of soft facial openness. My gestures are probably smaller and maybe I'm leaning in a little bit more, right? That is my body language as an underdog. But if I'm the visionary, then I'm probably using a lot of hand gestures. I'm real bold. My volume's higher, right? It's a completely different energy that I'm bringing as a visionary than if I were the underdog. If I'm the stage, then I may be real still, real relaxed. I've got a real focused gaze, right? That's me if I'm the sage, and that's very different from the underdog who's, maybe a little more leaned in, got this real open face, very expressive face, right? That's a very different energy than if I'm the sage and I'm rooted in the ground and I have got this very deep and focused gaze. If you want to dig into this further, I have created a toolkit, the Leading Character Story Toolkit, which helps you map out every step of figuring out your story. The toolkit helps you find your story, find your channel narrative, and also helps you find your personal voice. So if you want to dig into it a little bit further than I'm getting into in this video, I would check that out, and I'll put the link in my description. Figuring out your archetype is the first step to finding your personal voice. Now I want you to think about your emotional tone. This is the feeling that you want to evoke in your audience. Each archetype does have an emotional tone that's often associated with that archetype, so we can start there. For instance, the visionary is typically trying to be inspiring. They're trying to inspire change. The underdog, on the other hand, typically is trying to evoke a feeling of connection and comfort. The problem solver, on the other hand, is usually trying to evoke a sense of groundedness in action. The rebel is usually trying to evoke this feeling of challenging the status quo. Like there are no boundaries, there's nothing stopping you. And if you think that something is stopping you, that's because people are lying to you. They're usually extremely magnetic. The sage is usually trying to evoke a feeling of calm, and they're very comforting like the underdog is as well, but it's almost more grounded in purpose. The sage often has a very quiet authority. They don't have to shout. to be heard, unlike the rebel is usually shouting, right? Like everything is a human exclamation point with the rebel, whereas the sage is usually a comma. So I want you to think about what emotional tone that you want to evoke in your viewer. And the last component is your story style. This is the last layer. We have your archetype, we have your emotional tone, and now we have your story style. If emotional tone is the feeling you want to evoke in your viewers, story style is how you deliver your ideas. I want you to pick from one of these 10 story styles. Intelligent, curious, funny, relatable, quirky, vulnerable, bold and direct, brave and adventurous, ambitious and hardworking, or cheerful. So let's piece this together and let's do it for me. My archetype is the problem solver. The feeling that I want to evoke in my viewer is that they are grounded into action. My story style, I would say, is intelligent and curious. Maybe also a little bit quirky, but maybe like surprisingly quirky. Like maybe you don't know that I'm gonna be quirky until I start talking and then you're like, oh, I thought she was normal and she's not. Got it. That's probably me, right? So I want you to do that for you. I want you to map those 3 levels out for you. Figure out your archetype, figure out the emotion that you want to evoke in your viewer, and then lastly, figure out your story style. And you can do that by picking just one from that list. A lot of people were multifaceted, so maybe we're a pairing of 2 or 3 of these adjectives. So if I now know that I am a problem solver, I want people to feel grounded into action, and that my style is that I'm intelligent and curious and a little bit quirky, then when I go into creating my content, when I go into scripting my content and developing my content and even filming my content, that is the energy that I want to bring. I should be making choices based on this personal voice. Personal voice ultimately impacts your personal style. If you gave Quentin Tarantino and Greta Gerwig the same exact script, they are going to come up with very different movies. And now I'm thinking about Quentin Tarantino directing Barbie and Greta Gerwig directing Pulp Fiction. And I kind of want to see that. So let's focus less on trying to emulate somebody else that figured out their personal voice and find your personal voice. So I hope that was helpful for you. And now is a great time to go join my school community, the storytelling room, and use all of these tips and thoughts and get some feedback from other creators. We just started doing live chats. I'm really excited about it. So it's a great time to join my community, and I hope to see you there. Until next time, keep creating and keep thinking like a showrunner.